Hey friends, it's Shereé, and in today's video, I'm just going to be doing a quick little check-in with you before Christmas. But first, if you're new to this channel, welcome. And if you're a returning person, thank you so much for your continued support. All right, let's get into it. So friends, I have been sewing up a storm, and I mentioned that I would be sewing up some gifts for other people. And while I haven't had a chance to do the model shots for the outfits that I shared with you in the last video, I did do a lot of sewing. We've had some bad weather, so it hasn't been really nice for taking pictures outside, and I don't have the best lighting inside, so I usually don't take pictures inside. So another video will be coming soon where I share with you all the garments that I've made. But what I want to do right now is share with you all the things that I sewed. So I mentioned that I would be making a bunch of book covers, and I did, using all fabric scraps from my stash. Now I have two different sizes here. I have a size that is appropriate for paperback books and standard size paperback books. And then I have a size for hardback books. So I'll show you what those look like on the inside. For the first book cover that I made, I used what was left over from my Danny pinafore dress that I recently showed in a video. And I lined it with the same fabric that I used to line that dress. And I just used elastic in my stash. And then I also made a matching quilted bookmark, which I think is so cute. So that was the first one that I made. The next one that I made is out of this designer dead stock denim, and I used black elastic. Ooh, there's a little lint on there. I still have to lint roll all of these things because they're literally fresh off the sewing machine. I've been working on these all week. I lined this with some black cotton fabric, and then I have black elastic on the inside as well. And I did that because I wanted to make one or a few that are unisex, so that if I have men in my family that I want to gift a book cover, that will be appropriate for them. And this is what it looks like all closed up. I also made one out of this designer dead stock denim, and actually this is recycled denim. I believe I got this at Blackbird Fabric, and I made some beautiful jeans out of it. And I lined it with this Frida Kahlo cotton fabric that I had left over from a button-up shirt that I made by Seamwork. And so I think the combination of that is really nice. And all of the book covers have a tag that says Handmade by Shereé at the top with washing instructions on the back. And so again, I used black elastic for this one. And I think that this one also looks good as a unisex type of book cover. So it can be gifted to a man or a woman. And who doesn't like Frida Kahlo? Okay, I'm a huge fan, but I know lots of men that are also fans. And then also I have this navy blue, and this is bull denim left over from some, I think they were sailor style jeans that I made. And this is what was left over. I have actually two made out of this. And I had some navy blue cotton fabric in my stash that I lined it with. And that's what that looks like. And the reason why it's wrinkly is because I used iron-on fusible fleece to line it, and I have the black elastic as well for this one. I think these came out so good, and I've been making them so frequently now that I just kind of like crank them out pretty quick. But they look really nice, and aside from me adding a handmade tag, I don't know that it's totally apparent that these are handmade gifts. So I'm hoping that whoever I gift them to feels very proud to use them out and about. But again, doing a navy blue on navy blue means that it's appropriate for women and men. And so I made two of those exactly the same. And then I also made some out of that striped stretch twill denim that I have from Show Me Your Muumuu that I made my most recent pair of pants out of. And so I made quite a few of these. I had a good amount of this fabric left over. Again, I used black elastic and black cotton fabric on the inside, and my tag is in there. And I made some in hardback size as well as paperback size. So these are the paperback size. They're so good. I love these. I think I actually might give one of these to my mother-in-law because she saw me reading a book with one of my book covers, and she's like, oh, you know what? I'd love to have one of those book covers. She thought I bought it. And so I told her I made it and that I would make her one, and I think she would like these. They kind of look like a little purse. That's actually a good idea. I wonder if I should, on a future version, add a zipper pocket so that you could add your money or ID in your book cover. That's interesting. I will keep that in mind for a future version. But I also made that same exact combination for the hardback, and this is what it looks like. It's much bigger. Same exact style, just much bigger. And this fits most hardback books, ranging anywhere from 300 to 600 pages. I've tested it out on several books in my stash. And because this is more of a stretchy fabric, a stretch denim twill, it definitely can hold a thicker book if needed. But it just came out so cute and I love it. Definitely looks like a little purse. I love that. And then I have a large size of the all black on black. So this is the hardback cover size. And then I also made a quilted bookmark out of scraps from that fabric as well for this combo. And lastly, I have a large of the one with Frida Kahlo on the inside. So those are all the book covers that I made. I mean, I had one more actually that I recently gifted in a gift exchange along with one of my favorite books. And so outside of that, giving one away already, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 book covers here that I can gift. And then I also made a bunch of tote bags in the last 2 days, and they're so good that I'm having trouble gifting them. I actually want to keep them for myself, or at least one in each color combination. The first one that I made is this gorgeous linen fabric. Now this is left over from my Nomi pattern. I don't remember the number, but my 2-piece set that was color blocked. I had just enough to make 2 tote bags out of it. And since it's linen, it's going to be wrinkly, but it's lined with a beautiful cotton fabric that I got in a Indie Stitch box, and my tags in there. And it's just a nice sturdy tote bag. I'm so excited about it. It's like the perfect size for running errands. It's not too big and it's not too small. And so I made 2 of these in this fabric. And while I did iron them and they've only been laying flat, they do have wrinkles. So, I mean, that's the nature of linen, right? I mean, it just wrinkles. And then I had this beautiful designer linen that I made a summer dress out of from Stone Mountain & Daughter. And I had been hoarding the scraps. I had just enough to make 2 in this color. It's so beautiful, so soft. I actually want to buy more of this to make another outfit. But I lined it with some cotton that I had in my stash, and I think that's just so pretty. And I don't know, like, I feel like I should sell these, honestly, because after Christmas, that is, whatever is left, because they just came out so nice. But that's if I can actually part with them, because I like them so much, and because I have a dress made out of this fabric, I'm almost tempted to keep one for myself. But I think they're so lovely. Put in the comments if you would buy something like this as a consumer and how much you think I should charge for a linen tote bag that is lined. So I made 2 of those. There's another one. And then, oh, I want to tell you that I had mentioned in my last video that my serger broke. And so what I did was, I'll see if I can reach it. I purchased this here. Oh, this thread is all over the place, to put on the side of my sewing machine. And I just used, I think it's number 15, one of my stitches that is an overlock type of stitch. And I just did that instead of trying to pull out my old serger machine and get it set up and everything. And it worked out fine. It does take much longer to finish your edges with your sewing machine versus using a serger. But it came out really nice and I'm happy with it. And I think that that's going to be the way to go for when I travel and I sew. Like I went to a couple of sewing retreats, and the next one that I go to is in the summer of next year. And I think I'll pack this because with the last time I went on the sewing retreat, I serged all my pattern pieces before I went, which meant that I didn't trim my seam allowances. And so with this, I can just go ahead and finish my seams while I'm there, and I can trim the seam allowances so they won't be bulky. Okay, so the next bag that I made, and I actually thought I made 2 of these, but I only made 1. This is a denim leopard fabric that I got from Joann, and I have a pair of jeans out of this, and I also have a pinafore dress out of this fabric, and this is what was left of it. I've lined that with black cotton, and as you can see, there's my tag. But it just, they all came out so good, and they're like the perfect size for everyday use. So I really love them. And those fabrics are really great quality fabrics. So I feel very proud about them. Now these next 2 are also very nice, but even though they're the same fabric, they're slightly different. This one I chose to, instead of using the same fabric for the handle like I did with the other tote bags, I actually used webbing for the handles. So this is a thick, I think this is 1.5 inch webbing. And then this is some leftover Ankara fabric from when I did my Elevate with Ankara series with Talisha on my YouTube channel and on Instagram. And so this, I had just enough for 2 tote bags, and now that fabric is completely gone. But I loved this fabric. I made a pair of shorts out of this fabric originally, and it's beautiful Ankara fabric. And I believe that this fabric is from House of Mami Wata. And as you can see, I've added my tag and I lined it with black fabric. So good. Now, none of these tote bags have a zipper pocket or any pockets on the inside. Because of the size of it, I just think it's better to be able to throw like your wristlet and your book and your water in here without that. But I also in the future could see myself making this size tote with a matching zip pouch. And I actually cut a bunch up, but I never got around to sewing them. I just had too much going on this week. So without having my serger and it taking me a bit longer to sew these up than normal, I just could not pull it off. So I didn't make any of those zipper pouches. So no one will be gifted a zipper pouch this year, unfortunately. I just couldn't get it together. But I made another one, and as you can see, actually I'll hold them side by side. One is flimsier than the other. Like one is moves around and folds around and stuff. And it's because this one does not have interfacing and this one does have interfacing. So I used a thick, sturdy interfacing for this version. And I thought I might do them both since they were just basic, you know, Ankara cottons. But the issue with iron-on interfacing that I have found is that sometimes there's wrinkling. If you look closely, I don't know if you'll be able to see, there's like permanent wrinkling. And it's where the fabric has separated from the heat glue of the interfacing. Now, the good thing about having this fully interfaced is that it's more sturdy. It will hold its shape better if you put stuff in it and you're sitting it down somewhere. It doesn't just completely collapse like a normal loose tote bag, and it's really nice. The only issue that I have with this is that it has some wrinkles in little areas. And I don't know if that would bother anyone but me. And because of the loud design of it, you probably can't see it as much because it looks like it just falls right within the print. But yeah, so those are all the things that I made. And so I made a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tote bags that are gorgeous. I love every single one of them, and all those book covers. I also tried my hand at making these square cornered bookmarks, and this is one that I like, and it's actually just the 100% cotton fabric. I think that it just is thinner and lays nicer in a book. Now, I don't know if I'm sold on the size of it, but I definitely like it. As a matter of fact, let me grab a book so I can show you what it looks like. So here's your book. And then you would, like, if you wanted to save this page, I did this one upside down, so obviously I can't gift it. But, I mean, I could, but it's just not the way I envisioned it. I accidentally did the Frida's the wrong direction. But that's how it would mark the page. And it's thinner. The only problem is that it sticks out on the edge of the book. So I don't know, oops, what I could have done to make it a little less bulky, or I don't know. And I've not really seen others used like this. I've just seen people sell them. I haven't seen them actually in a book, so I don't know if that's normal, if they always look like that, or if I just need to figure out my measurements a little better. But I made that one, and I also made a denim one, and this one's just too chunky. It's so thick. Like, I mean, I thought about like saying with a little note, like, oh, you can use it as a coaster while you're reading your book, but then when you're reading, when you're done reading, you can slip it into your book. But I just think it's too bulky, so I'm just gonna keep it. I'm not gonna gift it, but as you can see, that's what it looks like. See how fat it is, because all of these 3 pieces of fabric that I used to make this bookmark are interfaced, so it makes it even bulkier. The cotton one is definitely a lot thinner. So there you have it. I really enjoyed making these things, and I actually feel like I have the sewing bug again. I just want to make more and more tote bags and book covers and bookmarks. So it was definitely a fun project. And what I've decided is I bought these gorgeous, I think they're called organza bags. Is that what they're called? There are these, I think they're called organza bags. But I'm going to fold all of the tote bags and book covers and slip them in here. Let me show you what that looks like. And I just think that'll make it look really nice. And I can just have a basket at the house because, as I mentioned, I'm hosting Christmas, and there are some people who will be stopping by, and I want to make sure I have a gift for everyone. And so this is what it looks like with the book cover inside, and that's really cute. So if I have a basket with all of these in there and just they can pick something, I thought that might be nice. And I'll show you what it looks like to put a tote bag in there. So I'll fold the tote bag really nicely and slip it in the organza bag, and I think that that will just make a nice little gift. And I'm really pleased with my choices for fabrics. I literally only used scraps that were in my stash. I did not deviate from the plan. I did not make any special trips to the fabric store. I didn't even buy interfacing. I literally used everything left over in my stash. And even the webbing, I bought a ton of webbing. I believe it was the beginning of summer when I was very eager to just make a bunch of denim bags and stuff. So I bought like 2 big rolls of twill tape in 2 different shades. So even with that, I just used what was in my stash. So there's the tote bag. I would probably have to find a better way to fold that so it looks a little bit nicer. But I think that this will be a nice gift. All of these are lined, and I really made sure that I did a very careful job with my stitching, so they all look really beautiful. I'm hoping that people will love these as a gift. And if I have any left over, I'll enjoy using them myself. But I can see myself making many more. And I did use a pattern, but I tweaked that pattern. So I think in future versions, I just draft my own pattern, because there's things about this size and shape that I think could be better. I also think that I should add, I think it's called a gusset down the side, so that it opens up wider on the sides. That might be cute. So yeah, I have some ideas on how to make this pattern better for the future, but I love what I've created. It was a lot of fun, and now I have more gifts for people. Well, that's everything that I made. I really enjoyed making those projects, and I hope you enjoyed seeing them. I hope you have a fantastic holiday and that you get a chance to spend time with family and friends. And my next video, I will absolutely be modeling the things that I sewed as far as garments go, and I have a fun collaboration coming up, so I can't wait to put that out for you. And if you haven't already, please do give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I hope you have a fantastic day and a wonderful week. Talk to you soon. Bye.